Go.
It's the podcast, What's the Odds? With Steve Renazizi, October 28th. We are located, some of us in California, some of us in undisclosed locations in the Northeast. But we are all healthy. We are together again via Zoom. Thank you very much, technology. It's been a hell of a week for a lot of different people. And I don't know who feels like the biggest idiot. Let me pose this question to you, Lucas, because you're you know a lot of these people that I'm talking about. Who do you think made the biggest blunder in the last week? Would you say it was Kevin Cash, the manager? Would you say it was Justin Turner, the Dodger player who came back out with COVID to party? Or would you say it's our own Brenton Biddlecombe, who basically –
I knew you were going to do this, and I have arguments for all three of those things as to why they were not idiotic decisions.
Let me finish my thought. Don't interrupt the host. Number three, Brenton Biddlecombe, for digging in on the Houston Texans, believing in his gut that we're going to win the game. Even though you and I said, let's leave it alone. Yeah. Let's not touch it. Let's maybe take let's take him with some points. No, win the game. Now, look, it didn't cost us the World Series. It didn't cost us the World Series, but it did cost you probably about $7,000. A last-second flick of what's his name in Detroit's wrist. That was a bullshit touchdown in the last second. And
he threw it to an Iowa guy, though, so I'm okay with that.
I'm not. Matthew Stafford, I'm not okay with it. And then fucking Seattle not covering. Those two, a field goal, a missed field goal, or and a last-second flick were the two things, besides Brenton's stupidity, costing us $7,000 this weekend.
Yeah,
$7,000.
Really, all I want is an apology, is for Brenton to admit that the Arizona Cardinals don't suck, because he seems to have it in against them, I'd say, including last year when he said they couldn't cover a tight end, and then also that Tom Brady is
they couldn't cover a tight end. They couldn't cover a tight end. They were they set the record. They gave up the most tight end yards in the history of football last year.
I don't even know.
They couldn't cover a tight end.
Brenton, shut that out.
So I'm not going to admit that. Hey, it's okay.
Brenton.
Go lay down on your bed. On your bed.
And then also his hatred of Tom Brady. I think he needs to
Did you watch the Tom Brady game? Tom Brady made one very good throw to Scotty Miller for 30 yards for a touchdown. Very good throw. The rest of it, it's just dink and dunk noodle arm.
We're getting off topic here. I want an answer.
And now,
as to why, and at no point did you feel shame or embarrassment to text me and Lucas saying, man, I really fucked this one up. I had to text you and say, you're an idiot. Idiot face. None of us, they got embarrassed last week. Green Bay. They got embarrassed on national television. Did you think that on a regular Sunday they were going to go get embarrassed 2 weekends in a row? It's like none of it made sense, and why we let up.
Steve, Lucas,
and let me tell you something. This is what I want to find out too.
This is your fault. I don't take blame for this. This is your fault. Emma, what country do we live in?
I'm going to walk off this podcast right now. I'm going to walk off.
I think we live in America, but I don't know what that means anymore.
And what did our forefathers do when they founded this country? They put a little thing in the Constitution called the 2/3 vote. You both outvoted me 2-1, and yet you let me go through with it. This is on you. This was un-American. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. This is your fault.
Brenton, you are so lucky that we are quarantined right now, because if we were in the same room, I would not be able to physically control myself from reaching over and strangling you. Do you understand what you're blaming the two logical people, no offense, Em, you weren't part of it.
Go through with it when you both said no. You
are the person that places the bets for us.
It's 2/3 vote. No, thank you. And you didn't do it. This was irresponsible on your part. I made a mistake. I admit that. I said Aaron Rodgers would throw 4 touchdowns. He did. But I also said Deshaun Watson would throw 5. He didn't. I set him up for success. He did not. Also blame the Texans for not double covering Devontae Adams. I don't know why there's no one else on the team to throw to, and he's in single coverage the entire game.
And who do you think had Devontae Adams on her team? Emma, and she wiped the floor with me by 30 points.
Yes, she did.
He put up a 40 fucking spot.
But
my point is this.
I panicked and picked up a new kicker Sunday morning in the last minute because I didn't have a kicker. Yeah. So I had no idea what was going on.
Look, I'm going to do Trump hands. This is on you. 2/3 vote.
Brendan, I'll tell you this right now.
You did not stop me.
Let me ask you another question, and I want the truth. I
left you in Omaha in the cold.
I want the truth. Did you place a side bet, like you said you were going to, of your own money on the Houston Texans beating the Green Bay Packers, of your own money?
I did, and it also crapped out on Saturday because I put in the parlay the Spartans would beat Rutgers. They got their asses kicked. So.
Oh my God.
They had 7 turnovers. What are you going to do? So yeah, I lost that bet as well.
We've been betrayed, Steve.
Truly, to throw us under the bus. This is an American
thing. Just as much your fault. I got overruled, and you didn't do anything about it. You got to protect us, Steve. You're supposed to be the brains of this podcast.
Yep. Great. Well, you know what? You're right, Brendan, and I take responsibility. So I'm tightening the reins.
About
starting this week. Okay. If I don't like your stupid fucking pick, guess what? It's going in the garbage. And don't you use your little tiny thumbs to press out what you think is right and set the bet before I solidify what we have chosen. Do you understand how it works now? Yeah. And I don't mean to chastise you like one of my kids. This isn't even how I speak to my kids. This is how I speak to my wife. Okay?
I take no responsibility at all.
I'm very upset. I'm very upset with you. And just because, it just put a sour taste in my mouth for the rest of the day. Look, it sucked that Matthew Stafford made that. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even look. It wasn't until the halftime of the second games did I know that Arizona that they lost, that the Lions actually came back and won. I didn't even realize. So I thought we were still in it.
That game was wild.
Did you see him celebrate Gurley's touchdown? Truly one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah. You honestly
the Lions defenders were running up like,
yes,
they scored.
I mean, Gurley, he says he should have known. I mean, everybody. And then I was watching that game trying to explain to Jonah why he wouldn't want to score. That was a whole fucking thing. It was a nightmare. So then I assumed they were going to win. And so I didn't even know so I was just living out for 2 hours, just hatred of you, just being like, why would we ever let him? Because, I'm seeing a clear run now, a Daniel Jones clear run to the end zone for our $7,000. Obviously not knowing about the Lions, because I think Seattle's going to do it, and I'm shocked with the end of that game.
But wrong.
No, we were not all wrong. Lucas and I were barely fucking wrong by a slither.
Go tell Vegas we were barely wrong and see what they pay you.
Right now, two very slim moments compared to a giant debacle that you went out on a limb for.
Would you rather lose big or lose by that much and feel so shitty about it? Because look, I had both happen to me this past week. We had the parlay bet that shit the bed, mostly because of the Texans. But I also had DK Metcalf in a double-up lineup, a $250 double-up lineup, and he had that touchdown taken away in overtime. I lost getting paid out by 0.7 points. Had it on the last play, celebrating, $500 in my pocket, and boom, there's a penalty.
Gives a fuck.
0.7 points. It is way better to lose by 30 than to lose by 0.7.
Well, you are a loser, okay? And if you cost us again with one of your haymaker bets that you see coming from nowhere, well, it's not going to happen again. I'm not going to let it happen again. I'm going to get very authoritarian on this.
I won't take the Texans this week.
Lucas, what were you saying?
And I will say what Kevin Cash did last night was as dumb as being so confident in the Houston Texans on
And
Sunday.
I disagree.
What Kevin Cash did was one of the – I mean, everybody's afraid to be Grady Little.
Yeah, everyone doesn't want to keep Pedro Martinez in for the extra guy. I understand that. First of all, there were no analytics back then, and analytics would have worked in that situation probably. Analytics would have told you, Pedro Martinez can't face the Yankees for a third time through the lineup. Okay. But I've been saying you got to use your eyes. Now, I don't even let's forget let's pretend, let's skip past the Blake Snell thing, okay? In the top of the inning, Dodgers had a leadoff double. I think it was someone who's before Cody Bellinger. Someone got a leadoff double, right? They had a man on second. They were winning 2-1, right? How Cody Bellinger comes up, and I don't see, to me, a one-run lead is not good enough. You need, when you have 2 more innings to play, you need that insurance run. That is a run that you need, okay? You don't necessarily need 6 runs. That'd be great. You don't necessarily need 5 or 4, but you definitely need 1 more. So I don't give a fuck who's up there. I'm sorry, dude. I need 1 more run to get 2-run lead, to get 6 outs to win the World Series, okay? Analytics may have got me here, but you, sir, Mr. Bellinger, are going to lay down a bunt, okay? To the right side, where the third baseman is not expecting it. He's playing way far back, okay? Make him field it, or the pitcher. He's not getting to third base. We're getting that runner over. And then the next out will score us a run that I need, okay? I'm sorry. I saw that, and I said, okay, this game is crazy. Now, look, they did go on to score the next inning off of a home run. Mookie Betts, that's fine. Okay. But I'm saying in that instance, you need that one run. Bellinger popped out. They didn't get him over. The next guy, I think, struck out, didn't get him over, and they got out of the inning without scoring a run. So that's analytics on the offensive side. Let's talk about defensively when you have a pitcher. Look, I know that analytics got them there. There's a formula to how it works. The guy that built both teams went to Harvard and built both teams based off of numbers. But you have to have you have to allow for some sense of feel to the game. When you see a guy who is dealing the way Blake Snell was dealing last night, I'm not talking about laboring through 6 innings, 6 1/3, 73 pitches up until that point, okay? He struck out half the batters he had faced. He had faced 18, struck out 9 of them. The next 3 guys he was going to face, he was 0 for 6. They were 0 for 6, and he struck all them out all 6 times. Dealing wasn't even the word. I think you could say if the next guy hits a home run, that's fucking baseball, okay? That's baseball. That's how it works. Hats off to you. You got to say, but I don't think it would have been a third time through the lineup thing. They're not allowed to go look at video anymore. See, that's what the analytics based on these guys allowing themselves in between pitch or at bats to go down, look at look what he started me off here. Look how he worked me over here. The specific pitcher that just threw to me 4 minutes ago, I can break it down for the next 2 innings till it's my next at bat. Now they don't have that anymore. Now you just got to go with what you're seeing out there. And what they were seeing, you're talking about, he turned Justin Turner into a fucking pretzel, twisted him up on strike threes. One of the best hitters in the league. This guy was out of his mind. He was pitching like the way you want someone to pitch in a game 6 or a game 7 when it's all on the line. I don't understand. I know that he probably did what he was, felt was right. But your baseball instincts growing up for the first 30 years of his life before the last 15 of analytics came around have to tell you, when you see someone dealing like the way Blake Snell was last night, you gotta let him go with that. You gotta let him go with that. Nobody today would be talking if the next guy came up and just hit a weird fastball over a wall. Nobody would be saying like big mistake, should have taken him out. Nobody.
I don't know.
Not the way he was pitching, Brenton.
It's
the way he was
same mouth
pitching.
breathers that are saying, hey, Cash, go against everything that you've done all year with a pitcher that's never gone this deep into a game the entire season, and he was losing velocity. He just gave up a hit to the 9th batter. You got the heart of the order coming up. He did what he felt was best for his team to win. And at the end of the day, yeah, it's the wrong decision because they lost, but his team didn't help him. You're not going to win that game with one run. So not all the blame goes on him. You're not going to be, even if Snell pitches the entire game the way he was pitching, the Dodgers are still going to put at least 1 or 2 runs across the board.
Dude, it deflated the team. If you looked at the bench, right? Okay, here's what I'm saying. Ready? What do you think? What do you think creates more passion and drive for a team? Right? A guy out there who's fucking busted his balls for you for 6 1/3 inning, right? Literally left everything out there, has been almost untouchable, basically untouchable to that point, right? If the next guy comes up and hits a home run, a 2-run home run, and they go down 2-1, right? And then he gets out of it. Let's just say he gets out of it, right? 3. Don't you think they're going to the bench saying, holy let's go we can still do this, guys. 1 run down, let's fucking go. Let's go. We're not letting this guy let 1 pitch ruin our season. Here we go. That's one way. The way that it happened was, I think half the team was pretty shocked that they were taking this guy out because you know why? All of them grew up playing baseball. All of them know what it looks like when a guy is fucking dealing, dude. I'm not talking about barely getting through 6. I'm talking about mowing everyone down. Everyone. Professional, the best lineup in baseball. Mowing them down. They know. They go, so when they know, they go, all right, let's do it. All right, here we come. But they know in their gut that it was probably not the right decision. And then the next guy goes double, boom. And then people start, now it's deflated. Now you're like, fuck. Because I really don't, I can't agree with what we did. So it's a feeling of deflation, bro. So now you're going in, you're going like, fuck.
I get that.
Now we only have 6 outs to get a run now, instead of being like, this guy's been dealing, let's go get them. There's a difference to me. There's a difference between the 2 vibes. And I think that when Kevin Cash took him out, it completely took away the mojo from the team, especially after Mookie Betts got a hit and the double and that was it. That was it. They were barely hanging on for the rest of the last 2 innings. They were not the Rays that were even a down a run were still, you were scared of them against the Yankees, against the Astros. They looked like a deflated team. And I truly believe it's because they did not, they understood that that's a decision that's going to get questioned, especially the way it turned out. Look, if Thompson comes in and gets everybody out and gets Mookie Betts out, well, then maybe he looks, but
and that's what had happened all year. I respect the fact that he planted the flag and said, this is our team. This is how we operate. We're not going to abandon that in the 6th game of the World Series. This is what got us here. It makes sense. It was the wrong decision because it didn't work, but the Dodgers were just a better team. The Rays couldn't hit the ball. They were doing no favor. If Snell had a 3 or 4 run lead, maybe he goes, okay, let's keep him in. Let's let him roll. But the fact that they weren't hitting, he had to stick to his plan, and I respect that he did that.
I mean, look, I understand what you're saying.
You're taking a gamble. You're talking about let's go against everything we've done for 70-plus games with the best bullpen in baseball. Let's go against all of that and roll the dice here on a guy who hasn't pitched this deep into a game. I understand what he looks like, but his velocity was down.
No, it wasn't. He was still dealing at 95 plus, dude. He was dealing at 95
It was going
plus.
down, and his slider wasn't as good. It was deteriorating slightly. It was still very good, but it was going down. So he sees that. Barnes gets the hit, and he goes, okay, this is our team. This is how we've done things. I'm going to stick to the plan instead of gamble. It was the wrong decision, but I respect the fact that he did that.
Look, you can respect it too, and you can respect a no World Series, and to be second and to be second guessed for the rest of the offseason, essentially, and not just by us and everybody else in the media, we're all fucking, but probably by Blake Snell. Look at Blake Snell didn't want to come out of that game. I mean, look, I understand analytics gets you to there, but just like how the A's are a great team and they get to the postseason, You need the numbers don't. You got to play the feel. You've got to play the feel sometimes. You've got to play the feel. I understand it's a numbers game, and that's how. But you've got to play. You shorten the leash. I'm not even saying if Mookie Betts gets the double off of Snell, maybe then you bring it in. But I'd rather have Mookie Betts facing Blake Snell, who just struck him out twice. I know it's a righty-righty matchup, but look, you gotta use your eyes. Like, what pitcher do I have that can come in that's better than what I got out there right now?
I mean, 70 pitches. 70 pitches. That's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, and I certainly I'm sure there was no argument to be made like, oh, they might need him an inning the next day. There is no next day if you don't win today. So that's a dumb argument. It was a gift. And it was a gift to the Dodgers. I think it was deflating for the Rays. I know it's a numbers game, and that 70% of the time that works out, and that might have been 30% of the time it didn't work out. But my point is, I don't think that if you are a Rays fan, you can be he's pitched. I mean, he's managed an unbelievable postseason, really. Like outdid Aaron Boone, really did a great job against the Astros, not letting them get, they were down up 3-0 and then, not letting them go, fuck, we're done. We're going to lose this thing if we don't win. They held on. And then this, it was a very strange decision. And, look, it'll be second guessed for a long, long time. I don't know, if I'm not a fucking Rays fan. I'm not happy if I'm a Yankee fan, because I know the Rays are going to be coming back even harder next year, trying to win it. But look, I don't want to take anything away from the Dodgers. They played a fucking ridiculous, really, really great season. They were the best team, I think, record-wise in baseball, the whole thing. They were built correctly, good veterans, young dudes, and then they have the best player in baseball now. And I think there's an argument to be made now that it's no longer Trout 1 and Mookie Betts 2. I think it's 1 and 1A, and you can go back and forth. And it's awesome that they're both in Southern California. Maybe one day we'll ever get to watch them fucking play again. But I think that Mookie Betts, I think LA and LA fans are going to be happier about Mookie Betts than they are LeBron James being here. I really do. I think that Mookie Betts brings them more championships. Now, granted, he's got 12 years and the best ahead of him, and LeBron's on the way down. And LeBron might win one more, but I think overall you're going to be happier with 12 years of Mookie Betts playing Dodger baseball, because the guy is just gifted. I mean, beyond every facet of the game, he's 5 tools. He can hit for power, hit, run, catch, and he's got a cannon. And he can save your runs. He can get you extra runs with his bat. He's unbelievable force in the clubhouse. It's like, I don't know. Again, we can go back to what the Boston Reds, I don't know what they're looking for better than that right now in the farm system, or what they have. If they find it, great. But if you're going to pay $400 million to someone right now, it's going to be Mookie Betts or Mike Trout. And I think Mookie Betts proved that he is to be talked about as the best baseball player in the world. And I'm happy for the fucking Dodgers. It's been 33 years, crazy. In 88, right? Oral Hershiser. That was the last time.
Kirk Gibson.
Kirk Gibson with the fucking, come on now, right?
Did you hear fireworks in Pasadena, Steve?
Oh, we heard fireworks everywhere. And we were watching it at a friend's house, and there was a fireman there. And I was like, everybody's like, oh man, the fireworks. And they were nervous, obviously, because of the fires and everything like that. But I was like, this is nothing compared to like the shit that we blow off on 4th of July. Like this is like nothing, Our kids were running around hitting stuff, and I told them to go out and start flipping cars and stuff like that, but they didn't do it because they're pussies, and they're it's a new generation. Nobody goes out and sets fires and flips cars anymore. I hope that the Dodgers get a parade. You know, it sucks that you win a World Series, it's, you know, with the Lakers too, and then you can't really go out and celebrate. I don't know how you can get 500,000 Armenians downtown, but we can't get, you know, to protest something. I don't know what we're protesting. I don't know whose side I'm on, but people are around Pasadena and the Glendale area. They're very upset. They're very upset about Armenia.
There's a war going on that you don't understand.
Yeah, and
bad shit going down.
I bought some donuts and they gave me a flag, and I don't know if I should put it on my car. It's got it's like blue, orange, and red, and so I don't know what it means or what team I'm rooting. So I said thank you for the flag and give me the donuts. And so yeah. But if they can have, you know, a big protest, why can't we have a parade? I mean, I'm not even a Dodger fan, but
frame it as a protest.
All the Dodgers now have COVID, as well as their families, so probably don't want to have a COVID parade.
I mean, can I just say one thing? And this could blend into what I was going to talk about next, but like, so let's just hypothetically say, can we play something out here, Brenton, for my argument? Say I'm Kevin Cash. I keep Blake Snell in the game. He gets the next 3 guys out. We win 2-1 or 1-0, right? We hold on and win 1-0, right? Now all this fucking COVID shit comes out, and you know it's going to be a thing where it's not just Justin Turner.
Yeah.
Even if he was the one positive, they would have delayed the game. They probably would have delayed it for a week because they've given themselves time.
They would have delayed it 2 weeks. We wouldn't have had Game 7 for a couple weeks.
Great. Now, if you could have any 2 weeks later, who do you think is going to be a better team? You're going to have any pitcher you want going. You could have Blake Snell again go in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're giving yourself an opportunity to win again under a better circle. I mean, even if they won last night, going in today, they would have had a tougher time with, you know, less arms to go up, but it would have been an opportunity to try to win the championship. But with the COVID stuff, you would have had time to get everyone healthy, practice, and, you know, hopefully no one on your team had COVID, so you can continue to practice and give yourselves, you know, an opportunity. I don't know, but
well,
anyway.
I think, you know, Cash made the mistake. It was a mistake to take him out, but I think regardless, the way the Rays were hitting, they lose that game anyway because you're not winning 1-0. The Dodgers would string something together off of somebody, whether it be Snell or whoever else they bring in. You have to score more than 1 run. And if you expect to win, there's no way they win 1-0. It's just impossible.
I know.
That lineup, it's impossible.
I mean, look.
It's on the Rays hitters just
so.
as much as Cash.
But if he gets through it, right, he gets through the, and then you hand it off to the bullpen, 1-0. Well, then it's like, well, then your bullpen didn't do their job.
Yeah.
But I know it's, again, whatever. Let's move on.
The scenario that you said, they could win in 7 games if that had happened, but there's no way that they beat the Dodgers, regardless of any of the scenarios last night. The Dodgers were going to win that game.
Yeah, they were the better team. Like even the Rays fluke win, you know, with the stumbling at home plate, and as great as that was, it's like, yeah, Dodgers let that get away.
Did you guys? I was watching the game with people, so you know the audio was on. But did they announce that Turner had left the game?
They had announced that he left the game, and they're like, we're trying to find out what's going on, if he was injured. We don't really know. They said that a couple of times, like a couple innings apart from each other. And then I think it kind of came out maybe near the end of the game or just after the Dodgers had won that he had tested positive in the middle of the game, which doesn't make sense. How do you not know that before the first pitch? Seems like a huge flaw in the testing system if you're finding out 5th inning.
I mean, look, I'm sure there's probably conspiracy theories already brewing. I had heard that he had an inconclusive test the night before.
Yeah.
So first of all, I don't know what that means. Inconclusive, so inconclusive either means a couple things to me. One, we got to take another test and try and see if it comes back, you know, or you can't play. Inconclusive is like not clear. So I'm surprised that they let him play. I'm surprised that it was a thing that you didn't know about that beforehand. I mean, I know that there was a rule that COVID issues, the teams were not allowed to announce if players specifically had COVID issues because of, you know, patient confidentiality, so it's their health. So, but I guess it's a situation where maybe that they were doing that, they weren't going to announce. But I didn't hear about any COVID issues before the game. Did you guys?
No.
No, there was no issue of it at all.
No.
In fact, all I heard about was like baseball was touting the fact that, they had like maybe 6-7 weeks in a row without any positive results. So I was surprised when I heard that he had left the game. I was like, oh, maybe he's hurt, or maybe there's like, I don't know. I don't watch that many Dodger games. So I'm like, oh, maybe defensively there's someone they bring in towards the end of the game that's better, whatever. But, a 1-run game, when you're down, you expect one of your best hitters, your 3-hitter, to stay in the game. Then you found out the COVID thing after. And, we didn't stick around to watch a lot of the celebration. So the stuff I was watching, I didn't see him at all. And I actually said to one of the guys, I was like, oh, it sucks that he can't celebrate with his team. They fucking just won a World Series.
He was sitting in the locker room thinking the exact same thing, Steve.
Yeah. And then apparently, he came out and it was like, fuck this, I'm going out there.
And then removed his mask.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Removed his mask. He hugged people. He hugged and kissed people. Now, look, I mean, I understand there's emotions that are involved in this whole thing. It's like, these guys, they tried. First of all, it's 33 years. Second of all, they've been to the World Series 3 of the last 4 years. They lost. They've been through a lot as a team. Of course, you want to celebrate with your team. But and I from what I also read that Major League Baseball really tried hard to stop him from going back out on the field. And, apparently he was aided by probably some Dodger staff, and they got him back out there. And, there's going to be a whole fucking thing now. There's going to be a whole investigation. You just hope that nobody else gets sick, obviously, and nobody gets worse or anything like that. And if nobody does, then it's like, hey, fuck it. He got away with one, Justin Turner. But, it's the craziest shit in the world that their World Series is tainted by the fact that, like, he partied with his team because of this fucking virus. It's crazy. Yeah. And by the way, it might only be a thing where it might be a false, because he has no symptoms.
Yeah, it could be a false positive.
Could be a false positive.
Well,
so
I think he did. I think he tested positive twice.
Oh, he did.
Because for some reason, like you said, the first was inconclusive, so they knew, well, we got to speed up his second saliva test. And baseball, for some reason, ships via FedEx all their saliva samples to a facility in Utah. So that's the reason they found out in the middle of the game, because they tested 2 extra saliva samples and they both came back positive.
Wow.
So it could be, I mean, hopefully it's not a severe case, but yeah, he definitely has it. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a false positive. If they do, I'm going to think that's a conspiracy.
I mean, my question to you guys is, look, I get it if you're his wife, but if you're his teammate and you know why he's gone, right? And you know why he got pulled from the game, are you going to give him a big hug and a kiss after the game?
Fuck no.
I would.
Most of them have families. Most of them are out there with their kids.
Yeah, they just won a championship. It seemed like Mookie Betts. It seemed like his teammates encouraged him, some of them. Dude, like, he didn't run out there by himself. Right.
An AirPod.
Right.
Fucking
There's like
AirPod.
A couple
there were Dodgers that opted out of the season because of COVID, and now they're going, yeah, I'm glad I fucking did that. That solidified that.
But in his defense, he is the heart and soul of that team.
I don't disagree. Look, here's what he should have done. He should have shaved the beard off, came back out then, and then no one would have known it was him. He would have just taken off the jersey, right? No beard, because that's what the playoff beard. The playoffs are over. That beard's gone, right? The beard comes off. You get like a mask that like it makes you look like somebody else, and then you go back out with your fucking teammates. You take off all your pants, the pants and all your uniform shit, and you go back out there. I mean, he was pretty brazen. He was out there. He was sitting next to the trophy for the picture, the team picture. Yeah. And I don't think anyone was wearing masks.
Yeah. I remember when he came to the Comedy Store, you could tell the teammates love him. Like, he came with AJ Ellis. He drank like 5 tall PBRs and just hung out in the back with me. Like, he's a partier. That's who he is.
And that's probably how he got COVID. Yeah, you know, he was probably out drinking on the off night the other night, and he probably fucking got COVID that way. Look, I'm not going to judge anyone. Everybody fucks up, but I'm just saying, like, to do something, and I would just feel bad if somebody else got sick, and, you know, like if Dave Roberts got sick or one of the fucking staff, you know, or you just wait till they get off the field. You know, it's tough. You just do it, the partying in the clubhouse, but there's cameras everywhere. They would have found them no matter what. So maybe he was just like, if they're going to catch me, I might as well just go out in full plain sight and do it. And I'm sure he'll be fined, or and whatever, he'll have to give back some money, whatever. But you just hope that it's not a thing where somebody else gets sick, where it's like, remember when Rudy Gobert touched the mic and everyone was like, yeah. And then next thing you know, that was sort of the beginning of this whole fucking thing. That's all. I'm not here to judge, I'm not saying he's a fucking asshole for coming back out there. Yeah. Was it the best decision? No. But I understand why he did it. I get it. You want to fucking be there in the biggest moment of your life with a team that you busted your ass for that believed in you. Of course. And
he played great in that series.
He did.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram and all over debating, and they're saying that this World Series should have an asterisk because it was only a 60-game season.
Yeah.
Do you buy into that?
No. You know why? Because, first of all, it was 60 games for everyone, okay? Every pretty much team, there were advantages for some teams, disadvantages for some teams. But I'm going back to, I think I spoke about this before. It took a big effort for everyone, a team effort to win this year, whether it be sacrificing partying on the road or sacrificing, your body a little more than you're used to because, there were games were tighter, double headers, things like that, playing roles that you're not normally used to playing. So I don't begrudge the Dodgers at all for winning this year. Do I think that home field advantage and home crowds could help in the playoffs and may have changed things a little bit? Maybe, yeah. But it was the same for everyone. It was the same across the board. And so for me, I think that they were the best team. They prepared. They played well in the playoffs. But I don't think an asterisk is first of all, they didn't do one in when they didn't have the World Series in '95. I mean, like, they gave batting championships to the people that finished first and in the shortened season and all that stuff. And they don't have asterisks next to all them. So it's like, fuck that. I think this year, I'm not going to go out and be like one of those people that's like, oh, this is harder than a real year. No, 162 games, and then going through the playoffs, that's a hard thing to do, a real hard thing to do, traveling all over the place, cross country and everything like that. It was a little more contained this year. So I don't think it was harder than a regular season, but there's no reason to throw an asterisk next to it at all. Not at all. I think it's a completely legit fucking championship.
I agree.
Completely legit. I just think as a fan, it sucks because you get a little gypped on the celebration shit, that comes with it, the parades and all that stuff. Yeah. Although they busted down the doors at Dick's at like 7 a.m. in Pasadena out here. Just with the T-shirts and the championship stuff selling, they were going crazy. So, they're buying shit. But
do they not have the internet?
Dude, I don't know. Fans, bro.
You get the shirts on the internet. Everything's online. What are people doing?
No, I just walked down the street.
I just got a Target order.
3 booths.
I got a Target order. It was delivered to me. I ordered it on my phone. I got it an hour later. What are people doing?
I got a Tampa Bay World Series champs Target T-shirts.
Exactly.
I'm going to wash my car with them.
Exactly. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to go out and get this stuff. We live in the future.
Yeah,
Pandemic or not, I'm never leaving my house. I'm not going shopping ever again. It's just brought to me. Whatever I want.
Every street corner in LA has people selling $10.
Yeah, that too. There's counterfeit Dodger and Lakers stuff everywhere.
I think it was the guys just partying the Chavez Ravine, and they just stayed up all morning till 7 o'clock in the morning and came over here to buy the fucking T-shirt. Because they looked hammered. Everyone was tripping over each other to get inside. There was no social distancing whatsoever. So, I mean, look, I think it's a big congratulations to the Dodgers. I am happy for them. I'm happy for the franchise, and I will happily watch them cry as the Yankees beat them in the World Series next year. And that's all, and it sucks that baseball's gone. Now we're down to one sport, guys, and we don't know when these other ones are going to come back. We're heading into some dark days.
Well, we've got college football to an extent. The Wisconsin game got canceled because they got 6 players and coaches testing positive. But
Nebraska,
we have college football. We have
Yes.
College basketball is going to come back at some point in the near future. The NBA is going to come back sooner than later because I think they want to do a whole season before the Summer Olympics. So then the players can go do that if they want to do that.
Oh, my God. I forgot about the Olympics.
Yeah. So things are coming back. They're planning on doing it in the summer. But, I mean, that's an event where it's like the Olympic Village is a bubble in itself. So they could pull it off if everybody quarantines and they have, a very strict regimen of we're going to put you in this place for a couple weeks. Then you're going to come in here and it's just going to be the people here that would be here anyway for the Olympics with no fans. They could do that. It's doable.
The sterile Olympics.
Yeah.
Usually those villages, that's where it's like a fuck festival. You're worried about STDs flying around that thing because all those athletes are just boning each other out, Especially, they hang out there after their – well, maybe not, but, they'll have syphilis for sure. That's going to get passed around. And where are they again? Japan? Are they in Japan?
I believe so.
They're very clean, so they'll clean it up nice. But it's still going to be – I completely forgot about the fucking Olympics. Holy shit. Damn, dude. Yeah, I'm just worried that, this is it and that no one's going back into a bubble for the, and no one's going to want to, or there's going to be big negotiations beforehand and we're going to see a big standstill in sports again. That's what I'm worried about. We'll see.
And the NBA is looking to start on Christmas Day, which could be a cool new tradition. I mean, that's –
yeah,
I'm a
great.
fan, yeah.
And they love that Christmas Day. I don't know what day of the week Christmas is this year. It's Christmas is Sunday. It might be.
It's the 25th of December, Steve.
Don't fucking talk down to me like that. Oh, it's a Friday. Because sometimes if it's on Sunday, then football just fucking, they're like, no, we're taking over.
Right. Right.
Yeah. What else? So, you can't call games. The Lakers, the Dodgers. And are you guys doing trick-or-treating? Or you're not, Brenton? You're not leaving. I mean, I invited you guys over to watch football. Dave Taylor came over, and Ryan O'Neal came over. We watched a couple of the games. John Little, and but you're not leaving the house. Are you going to dress up for trick-or-treating, Brenton? What are you going to do? Are you just going to?
We're gonna turn off all the lights and go up to the second floor.
I knew it.
I knew you hide. We're gonna hide from the. Well, can I say last year I bought probably 10 pounds of candy, and we didn't have one trick-or-treater come to our door. Not one. So we just had all this candy.
He still has the candy.
I threw it out. I threw out all this candy. I was going to give it to you.
Bad.
It does. Yeah. I was going to give it to you, and obviously things happened, and you couldn't come over. So
this year your plan is to just –
we're just going to hide.
Oh, my God. And when you hear maybe a kid ring the bell, trick or treat.
Well, we're going to be on the second floor, so we have a deck that we can stand out, and if they come to the door, we can throw stuff down at them.
Yeah, man.
But no one's coming. No one's coming. They didn't come last year.
Guess
where
we're
all
going.
This candy, nothing.
Where are you going?
My wife will. Oh, I'll tell you. My wife will not let Gavin Newsom stop her fun of Halloween. This lady loves Halloween. And so we rented a house in Orange County, the lawless Orange County, where it's like you can fucking cough and they have a sneeze factory inside. You can just cough and sneeze in someone's face for $1. So we're going down to Orange County for 3 days, where we're all gonna dress up like she doesn't even listen to this anyway. So we're going as Elvis this year. We do a theme every year. So this year it's the 4 stages of Elvis. I'm fatter karate Elvis. We have 4 different versions. So we will be down in Orange County trick-or-treating, eating indoors, and probably getting COVID. So, and that's it. That's the plan. I mean, I don't want to, but that's the way it's got to be for right now. She is dead set, and we have an Airbnb, and we're going tomorrow after school, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, coming home Sunday. And you know what? We get an extra hour this year because you got to turn the clocks back. So, you know, look, the kids will have fun. We'll do it safely as you know, as we can, but we have to go to Orange County to do trick-or-treating so that my wife is happy. And these are the things you do for love. You get communicable pandemic diseases for love. Yeah.
And candy.
And candy. And trust me, it's going to be worth it this year. It could cost us our lives, but we'll see. Who knows? I mean, are people going to be giving candy? I don't even know if this is worth it this year. Who knows? But I have to do what I have to do. So, and by the way, Friday we are going out fishing on a boat, which is cool. We're gonna go deep sea fishing. So hopefully the summer that I had on the water doesn't flow into the winter or fall now that I have on the water. I'm just saying I hope I don't drown. That's my point. Jesus. I hope I don't die on this boat. We're going out deep sea fishing, like tuna, big shit, you know, fucking sharks and stuff like that. So, yeah. And hope maybe I'll go as Elvis. Who knows? Maybe I'll wrap the whole thing up and go fishing as Elvis. What else? Oh, you know what else is exciting? You fucking Brendan, you got our pussies all wet for something here. Bertolini, ATC's Mike Bertolini, called me or emailed me about this golf.
Do you say his name incorrectly, by the way?
Bertolini.
It's Bertolini.
Lena?
Yeah, it's Bertolini. Do you honestly, I thought you just always say that as like a thing, like, oh, that's just my fun nickname for him.
I thought it was N-I. I didn't know it was N-A.
No,
Bertolini.
Isn't Bertolini like a pasta?
Well, there's a lot of pastas that end with I. I swear to you, Brenton, I will end that dog. Unprofessional, Brenton.
Look, we're recording later. This is normally when she goes on a walk and then eats, and she's on a schedule, so she's really pissed off at me right now.
Oh, well, next time I'll fucking email the dog.
I'm doing my best. You got to.
I didn't know I had a Lupin Rogue. I'm sorry, Rogue. I didn't realize it was fucking veal cutlet parmesan Wednesdays. What do you feed that dog? I imagine you feed her, or is it her or him?
It's a her.
It's a her.
We feed her
the best of stuff.
It's an organic turkey, whole turkey, ground turkey with whole wheat macaroni noodles, broccoli, carrots.
That dog eats better than half the residents of Los Angeles. And let me tell you something.
She eats very well.
Has that dog ever thanked me for giving you the lifestyle that now allows that dog to be fed so well?
She was fed that for years before that happened. She has allergies.
That dog would be eating fucking Alpo if it wasn't for me.
That's not. She's allergic to Alpo, Steve.
And it just looks like she doesn't show me respect when we're trying to get the podcast done.
Well, you got to give
respect. Just yapping it up for a little bit.
Why are we shitting on Alpo?
By the way, she's one of the. Is that what you're eating for dinner, Lucas? Poor Lucas is eating Alpo because you can't make a goddamn pick, Brenton. Do you understand? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think even Rogue barked during your Houston pick last week.
She did.
Yeah.
But imagine if I had gotten that one right. We still would have lost anyway.
Lucas, how does it feel to know that Brenton's dog Rogue eats finer foods and a more hearty selection than you do? Okay?
It breaks my heart, but the salt from my tears seasons the Alpo, so it's all, you know.
First of all, Lucas chooses to eat that way. He's an animal. He likes that. He likes Alpo.
I mean, if coronavirus took away my taste buds, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. She sticks her nose up
at it. We tried to do the kibble thing. She doesn't like it.
The kibble thing she doesn't like. They're fucking dogs, dude. My dog eats his own shit sometimes. Do you understand? He shits, and then an hour later, he'll try to eat it. Even though your
dog's a dummy.
Well, what is your dog, a fucking genius? Give me a break, man. Give me a break. Don't get me upset. By the way, this is the last podcast before the election. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this
is the most wagered election in history. I know that's probably not a surprise to anybody, but the most $260 million gambled.
Damn.
According to FanDuel.
Wow, 200.
Is that just on FanDuel, or is that everything across the board?
Looks like everything across the board so far.
That's
and the previous
crazy.
record was 254 in the 2016 election.
Well, it's 100% legal now, so that helps out, opening the doors. But also, yeah, I mean, I think, look, we've never been more divided. I mean, who knows, as a country, it doesn't feel like that. So when you feel like your side's right and you're going to win, of course you're willing to throw some fucking cash down on it. That being said, I think we do the podcast next week and we still don't know a definitive winner. That's my opinion.
You think?
Probably.
Oh, yeah. I don't think
if
it's going to be a thing on Tuesday night where we all go to bed knowing. I mean, look, I could be wrong. But again, I'm not normally. Okay? And we all know that's true. That's why we're here. But I think that, look, could it be a situation if he wins Florida, if they call Florida for Biden at 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock our time, I think things will start to we'll see more of a landslide and we'll know. I'm not saying Trump's not going to fight it tooth and nail throughout the night and the next day and whatever he can. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think we go to bed that night knowing at all even which way it's leaning, to be honest with you. I think you'll know like Senate and some House shit, but I don't think you'll know 100% the president. And I don't even think by the time we do the podcast the next day, we'll know. So, I mean, it's our official last podcast before, and I think I can say I think confidently Biden will win. He will win the popular vote, and if anybody wants to take me on that, I'll bet my house that he wins the popular vote. But and I think he's going to win the election. I think it's going to be a 300 to whatever's left over electoral college win, not a landslide, but not not that close. And I think it's going to be probably a week from Tuesday to the following Tuesday before it's all fucking wrapped up and sealed. And I think that you'll have lawsuits going in from then about like shady shit going on when he, whas and complains his lame duck presidency, what's left. That's what I think is going to happen. Anyone want to offer a different opinion, a dissenting opinion?
Well, so many people have voted already. So I kind of think there's a chance that we will know on Tuesday.
Well,
more people have voted early than ever.
Yeah, but are they allowed to count those votes right now?
I'm not sure, but there's an LA Times article that I haven't read yet. But basically the title was, how long will it take each state to count their votes? And I'm guessing none of them are going to be done on November 3rd. No. So this will be dragged out for a while. There's
like 100 million people, I think, in California. Yeah. It feels like that. It's like, how do you count those fucking votes in a night? Plus, I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this, but are you allowed to count, like, maybe today, let's just say 100,000 people voted today in Los Angeles. Are they counting those votes at the end of tonight and just keeping a tally? Or is it like they don't start even opening up those votes till that night?
I would imagine you probably can't legally count and open stuff until that day, just because where are you storing those numbers and then who has access to them and could they manipulate them? And then that becomes a whole conspiracy theory in itself. So they're probably locked somewhere secure.
Really? That seems like a pretty, I guess it's easier to vote early, but
they take this stuff serious. There's a postal worker that's facing 30 years now for dumping 111 ballots in a dumpster. He's going to get 30 years in federal prison.
And I'm glad, and he should. And if that was that was his intent, then that's that's why you have we have to have some faith in the system where it's like mailmen. Not all of them are out to get us. This is a one bad apple mailman situation. Yeah. So that's how you get your fucking checks and everything on time. They're not robbing you of money. But I think if you're not counting votes or starting to count votes till November 3rd, there's no way, dude. There's no way you're going to know. You're not going to know any of the initiatives, any of the stuff, on our ballot in California, all the shit, all that extra stuff that we had to vote for. You're not going to know that. If you're not opening ballots for all people, I see how many people. They said like 20 million people have already voted. if you're not starting to count those till November 3rd, there's no way you're going to they're going to have a record-setting turnout this year, which is great. They're thinking about almost 60% of the population having voted, which would be a record. It'd be awesome. It'd be, a long, long time since that's happened, which is awesome. And if you are an idiot, I mean, if anybody who doesn't know that this is an election happening, you cannot at this point not know that this is going on. So either you're just going to sit this one out, and most people aren't. So I don't think it's possible at all to know by the time we do the podcast next week, unless it's a landslide.
Yeah, it says they're not counted, that you have to sign an EDA if you wanted to count early, which sounds kind of stupid. Like, why would you really care?
Where would you get an EDA? Actually, what the fuck is an EDA?
No, you have to sign and confirm your signature in front of a county recorder to make sure the signatures match. This just seems like a pain in the ass. And it also says, according to CNN, that Pennsylvania, some counties will count their mail-in ballots last.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but 66 million people have already voted.
By the way, in California,
is only going up.
If you want to look at your license has your signature on it, and that's how I looked at how to match it, because that's the one they have on file. So you know how your license got, so it's like if you when you do your signature, if you haven't voted already. I don't know. I don't think we're going to know by the time we do it next week. I mean, I think we'll have an indication, but I don't think there's going to be a clear-cut winner unless there's a landslide one way or the other. But, we'll see.
All right.
We will see.
I think we will, if anybody wants to bet me.
But yeah,
I'll think that we will know?
Yeah, I think we'll know. I think so many people have voted. And Trump will probably take Florida, but I don't think see him taking the Midwest. And I can't imagine, that. Remember in 2000, what was it? Yeah, the Bush Gore. There's actually a great documentary on HBO called 537, where they show what happens to those ballots that get recounted. Like, they go into a warehouse. So all those ballots right now, they're all in the warehouse. And that when they recounted all those, if every state becomes that, that'd be a mess. But those newscasters work till 3 a.m. I don't see that happening again.
Dude, they want it. I know they want it. They need it. It's just their Super Bowl. They want it. They need it to be a thing where they have. So they're going to try. They're going to try their hardest to call. But I just don't think that this system now allows for that process to happen on one night. I just don't think it does.
I agree with Steve.
Did you guys see the Borat movie? Did anyone watch it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you didn't watch it? No. Is that not your cup of tea, or is it just the thing?
No, I just haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay. I watched. By the way, I was like, I told my wife, I go, Trey, we watched it. She's like, oh God.
Don't you mean your wife?
Yeah, my wife. So she was not thrilled, and she actually laughed more than I did. And today, actually, this is the shit. Like, I wish I saw more of this. Like, he released some of the excerpts, the cut stuff of like them literally running from these locations, having to like run for their lives. Specifically, the one I saw was the one where he was dressed as like the cowboy singer, the country western singer at the
gun rally.
DC, the gun rally in DC, I think it was. And I'm sure at some point, probably 20 minutes into his set, that somebody figured out who he was, and they got pissed. And they literally chased him out. He ran into what I think was an ambulance. It looked like an ambulance. And it's crazy how he gets in there. He's still like, he's panicked. The camera's running. They're in an ambulance. And like, you could just, and like, he has panic in his face, but he still looks like that country western singer. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, he's got his English accent, and he's just like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, this is no longer, we got to go, dude. We got to get the fuck, because people try to rip the door open, fucking lunatics. And so but I would love to see more of that. Even if it was, I know it doesn't go with the story at all. Even if it's during the credits, I want to see, like, I am interested in the peril. Like, they jammed together a storyline. It was good. And the daughter was she was funny, The period thing was absolutely, the dance scene with the period was one of, I mean, it wasn't in the first one where he rolled around with the fat guy. You know, it wasn't that all the way there, but it reminded me of that, of just pushing all the way, of completely, even when people are like, all right, enough, another 10 seconds of it, just shoving it down people's throats. I admire that. I enjoyed it. And the Rudy Giuliani thing, I thought was sort of like, it's not a lot of, it looked like he was trying to fix his mic.
Yeah.
I kind of, in a weird way, I'd never, ever feel bad for Rudy Giuliani, but I do feel bad sometimes because it's like they get put into these situations. These guys, like Rudy Giuliani probably would have tried to bone that chick out had he had the opportunity, but I don't think he was doing anything in that moment super strange or weird. But yeah, I kind of, in a weird way, felt a little bit bad for him. As bad as you can feel for fucking Rudy Giuliani. Mr. fucking the vampire himself. But yeah, it was good. It was a good watch. Amazon
nice
Prime.
Little sidebar. The babysitter that looked after her when she was saying, "Oh, they're gonna sell me off." They interviewed her after the fact. She felt betrayed because, you know, she was probably the only one in that movie that came out looking good. But people have started a GoFundMe for her, and they've already raised like $75,000 to give to her, just for being a good person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So she was a good person.
She's the only good person in the movie.
Oh my God.
But she was like, I felt so betrayed, and I was praying for that girl. We didn't know what happened to her for months. I didn't know if she got sold off or if she got plastic surgery. And I stayed up at night crying for her.
Oh, damn, dude. The shrapnel of a reality style movie. What are you gonna do, dude?
Well, they told her that they were doing a documentary about like these children being brought into the country and being sold off to rich, you know, men for marriage when they reach a certain age. And they found her through like her church, and they paid her $3,600 to be in this documentary. And obviously months later, she found out what it actually was.
Really?
So she was completely like, everything she was doing was genuine.
Oh, what a good person. They're still out there.
Yeah.
Didn't even know. Yeah, didn't even know she was going to be judged by millions and millions of people. But I'm glad it worked out for her. I'm glad people are helping her out. And I'm sure fucking Sacha Baron Cohen will make it right too, in some way or the other. By the way, I'm getting ready for something big. We were talking about before. We got Bertolini. We got off the topic. Bertolina. We're going to do a golf thing. So Bert wanted to play a tournament, but I think instead we're going to do some sort of Ryder Cup style, 2-man teams, captained by maybe Bill and maybe one by Norm, 2-day event, and winners get jackets.
Bill and Norm are going to be the commentators because I don't know if either one of them really golfs.
But then they could pick teams. They don't have to play. They could just, Ryder Cup captains. So I'm excited about that.
If you need a caddy, I'm available.
You'd be the last person I'd ask. So thank you very much. Out of this whole panel, I would ask Em to caddy for me before I ask you.
Oh yeah.
You would infuriate me. Anyway, let's pick some football games for this weekend, shall we, fellas?
Yes.
Let's make the fans and Lucas some money.
No, I have the odds right here. Do you want me to pull them up and screen share?
Are you on MyBookie?
No. You should probably do it then.
Yeah, I make the bets on MyBookie, so I got to go with those lines. I'm going to refresh it, see what they are now. Do you want to touch the Atlanta-Carolina game? Carolina's at home and favored -2.5. Christian McCaffrey may be back.
I don't want to touch that game. Okay. I'm so fucking soured on Atlanta. I mean,
it's not fun if we lose on Thursday and the whole week's shot.
Yeah, fucked anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So the first game I've got, the Colts are visiting the Lions. The Colts are giving 2.5 points. Over under is 50. Colts defense is very good.
I like the Colts to win, but I also just don't like the fact that the Lions are home coming off of a big win. The 2.5 mean nothing to me. It's a pick'em game in my opinion, but I do like the Colts. But if you guys want to stay away from this one too, I would be all right with that as well. I know that's a pussy move, and that's not usually my MO. But I've got a small gut feeling, but it's not a lock. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Go ahead.
I like
Lucas.
the Colts too, but I'm fine skipping it.
All right. Well, we'll skip it because I'm heavy on the Lions, so we'll skip that. Good. You guys outvote me 2-1.
Yeah.
This is America.
Skip it.
We've got Minnesota visiting Green Bay. Green Bay is a 7-point favorite at home.
Okay. I've got a strong feeling about this one. Green Bay is going to win the game at home, but I'm not touching the spread. I don't know if they win by 7 points. I don't know which Minnesota team's going to show up. It is a division rivalry, and those are always harder to call.
And Dalvin Cook may be back.
I like Green Bay to win.
But Green Bay may not have Aaron Jones again.
Aaron? All right. Well, I still like. I mean,
Week 1 they played, it wasn't even close. The score says that it was kind of close, but it was all garbage time for Minnesota.
No.
So Green Bay will probably win.
I like Green Bay in the money line.
Money line is minus 310, so it's not great. We're going to have to really add some games.
Why do
you think Green Bay?
Yes, just don't push the panic button yet, Brendan.
Yeah, I could see them very easily covering that game, though. There's 2 games that's one of them where I'm like, I think that Minnesota really is bad. I mean, they traded Yannick Ngakoue,
their defense
just
is really
a few days
bad.
ago. Like, they're kind of trying to they're trying to get under the cap for next year, but they're also, they know this year's kind of done.
Yeah.
And I don't trust Kirk Cousins.
We could circle back about the points, but
okay.
Let's see what else we got right now.
Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills hosting the New England Patriots. Buffalo is favored minus 3.5.
Okay.
At Bills Stadium.
I mean, I have a feeling that the Bills are going to win. I don't know if it's 3.5. I think they probably should be able to cover.
That half is a killer. We could buy a point.
It is a killer. 2.5 I'd feel better about. But I'm thinking Cam Newton's playing so poorly, and the Bills need a turnaround game. They need a game to get them back on the right track. At home, I don't know if they're allowing fans, probably not, but I just think they need a game against a division rival that they should to right the ship, and they should definitely win. I don't know if you guys want to fuck with the points. What do you think?
Well, they're also getting 2 players off the IR this week, and John Brown is healthy. So they should be, other than at tight end, they're pretty much back at full strength.
Yeah, the Bills will win. I'm pretty confident in that.
The Patriots just seem like they've given up on the year. Belichick doesn't seem like he's trying.
Cam Newton certainly looks like he's given up on the year.
Cam Newton also admitted that he doesn't think his job is secure anymore.
How could you? They produced like 0 points in the last 2 games.
So if he doesn't play well and he gets pulled, you saw what his backups did.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying – look, I would feel better about 2.5. If you guys want to go 3.5, I'll go with you.
Well, I'll put the spread right now. We can switch back to the money line later, but we can also buy a point. It'll knock a little money off, but if we buy a point, then – All right, next we've got Tennessee at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's getting 5.5 points at home with an over-under of 53.5. No defense.
I like Tennessee, and I would even probably go with the points too. I think Burrows had a great game last week. The Tennessee defense is better. I think Derrick Henry is going to have a monster game. I think that 5.5 is a decent number. I think they cover. So I don't know how you guys feel.
I agree.
Tannehill looks unstoppable. I don't know what happened when he left Miami, but.
Well, he's not going to have to throw. I would be amazed if he throws more than 25 passes this week. Derrick Henry's going to have like 150 yards.
The Bengals just traded, what's his name? Their sack.
Yeah,
Dunlop. So,
And their defense wasn't good to begin with. That's like the defense. Yeah. You get your offense back playing well once you play the Bengals.
Yeah, granted, the Tennessee offensive line's a little banged up with what's his name out, but the Michigan kid. But yeah,
they without him, they played well against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is a pretty stout defense, so they can hang.
Oh, shout out to Dunlap for requesting a trade by putting his house on Twitter. Classy move.
Wait, what do you mean? Putting his house for sale on Twitter?
Yeah. I think it was last Sunday. It was on Sunday or Monday after they lost. He put his house information on Twitter.
Oh, my God. That's fantastic. That's a gangster move right there. That's one way to force a trade. I don't live here anymore. Yeah, so I don't know.
Tennessee lock it in. Tennessee, 5.5. Right. Next up, we've got the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Cleveland. Cleveland is giving 2.5 points at home.
I've got a gut feeling on this one. I like the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to go in there. I think they're going to win the game.
Well, no more Poopy on the Browns. He's done.
No more Poopy. He's done. I think it'll help Jarvis Landry's fantasy numbers, but I don't think – look, you got to block Myles Garrett. You got to block Myles Garrett.
He didn't practice today.
Oh,
he didn't practice today. He's got an ankle.
Well, then you might not have to block him then. Or, you might still have to block him, but not – I think Vegas, when they are clicking, they look like their offense looks really, really good. Derek Carr looks like a really good quarterback when they're moving the ball. Now, if Myles Garrett gets all up in his face, it's a different story. But I like the Raiders to win the game as an upset.
Yeah, Jacobs had a career low 17 yards on, I think, like 6 carries last week or 10 carries. So I think they're going to make it a focus to get him much more involved, and they'll probably roll against the Browns because Baker Mayfield just isn't that good of a quarterback.
If you want to take the spread and get the 2.5 points, that's fine.
Boom.
But
all right, this is the fun one this week.
Oh my God!
How big is this spread?
I got 19.5.
New York Jets getting 19.5 points on the road to Kansas City. If you have Le'Veon Bell, you start Le'Veon Bell this week. They're going to feed him the ball, revenge narrative all over the place. He's going to want to do a big capital fuck you. They're not going to bother with Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week. They're going to say, hey, you're a rookie. We're going to rest you a bit. Let's let Bell get in there and just kick the crap out of his old team. I don't know if they cover that spread.
I know.
Think they get out to 2 touchdowns. Because Vegas knows. Vegas is very smart. They get out to 17-point lead, and they don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to see Patrick Mahomes probably in the second half if they got out to a 20-point lead.
The money line, there's no point in even picking this game unless we go with the spread or we take the Jets to cover, because the money line on the Chiefs is minus 2150. So
I think you're going to require the Chiefs defense is going to have to score at least one score,
which they did last week.
Spread.
They did last week, and their special teams returned a kick. Pringle ran a kickback.
I say we take Kansas City and give them 19.5. I do.
Okay. It is the Jets, so
I know.
I'm not going to go against that. It is they're bad, and they're only giving up even more. And they're so bad that now Trevor Lawrence is probably going to go back to – he would rather go back to class and study than play for the Jets.
Apparently this isn't the biggest spread ever. Do you know what it is? What is?
Well, in college, the spreads are always massive.
No, I'm talking
in the NFL, it's not because the Dolphins – the Dolphins last year were getting crazy spreads for how bad they were. So I'm guessing it's probably around like 30 or 31.
No, 24 probably, 21.
Well, actually, you're both – I think the largest ever is from 2013 when the Broncos were 28-point favorites over the Jaguars. 28
Whoa.
Points.
Was that Peyton Manning? Was that their Super Bowl?
Yeah. Super Bowl.
Yes.
It's that defense, and the Jaguars' offense was probably really shitty. That makes sense.
I think Peyton had 50 touchdowns that year too, right?
Yeah.
Right, and they won 35-19.
So they didn't cover.
Yeah.
Or I'm not good at math. Did they cover?
They didn't cover.
They didn't cover.
No, 19.5 is tough. 28 would be impossible, but I think they're going to do it 19.5.
Okay.
Rams.
Everyone hear that? That's Steve's pick. It's not my pick. Not my pick.
Go ahead.
All right. Rams, Dolphins. Rams are giving 3.5 on the road to Miami, and Tua is making his debut. I don't think it's even close. Rams smoke them.
Me too. I think it's a bad decision to start Tua against Aaron Donald.
I was saying this before you hopped on to Lucas. Honestly, the Dolphins benching Fitzpatrick, that solidifies that the Bills should win the division. I was more nervous about the Dolphins, the way they were playing with their defense and the way Fitzpatrick was playing. They honestly had a shot to win that division because the Bills have been playing poorly. The Dolphins have been playing really good. Now you're going to put a rookie in. You fuck everything up. That's management going, we'd rather have a better draft pick than win the division this year.
Yep. That's how they're playing now, especially with ownership wanting to cut costs.
So thank you, Miami.
In a year like this.
We're getting the title, finally. So we'll take
hand it to you.
Basically. The next up, we got the Steelers. This is going to be a good game. Steelers at Baltimore. Baltimore is giving 4.
I would take Pittsburgh.
To win or getting 4 points?
I think so. I think they're the better team. I don't know if I'd probably stay away from the points, just like the other game, the 3.5.
Well, the money line on the Steelers is much better, and I would agree that Roethlisberger's playing a lot better than Lamar Jackson. And Mark Ingram probably will not play. His ankle's still bugging him. Well, don't feel so bad because Michael Thomas probably won't play either. So neither of you won that trade.
It's a battle of fucking futility. I disagree. I think the Ravens win at home.
Really?
Yep.
Do they cover the spread?
I think they hand the Steelers the first loss. I think they're all over Roethlisberger. It's again, these division games are bloodbaths usually. Yeah. So, I don't think I think it's closer than 4 points. So if you want to take the Steelers, I would say take the Steelers and get 4 points.
Okay.
But
Right. No,
I think the Ravens win, but maybe by a field goal, or a close game. It's going to be a shootout, I think.
Which, by the way, guess who picked up Justin Tucker in the Punch Drunk League for $3? You took a kicker in the 10th round. I got Justin Tucker for $3.
I didn't even know you could spend money. I don't even know what you're talking about, how you spend money on people.
What? How are you in this league and you don't know how it works?
I'm 3-4 in that league.
We have a budget.
A 2-game winning streak.
We have a budget.
Why are you questioning me? What's your record?
That's why you didn't get the running back last week. I told you to bid on the running back because you need a running back. You didn't put any money on it.
I bid 0.
And did you ask what my record was? I'm 7-0. I'm 7-0. I'm in first place by 2 games.
I'm 3-4.
I'll explain it to you when we get off this, but you have a budget. You spend your budget on free agents. And then if no one puts any money on a guy, then it goes in the order of the waiver.
I don't want to hear your ideas about how to do this.
You're literally the only one in the league that hasn't spent money.
And look how well I'm doing.
You're 3-4.
I'm the Oakland A's. I'm the Oakland A's of this league. I'm very frugal. Do we get our cash back at the end if we don't spend it?
No. It goes away. It's not real money.
Then my new job is to outbid. Anytime you bid on someone, I'm bidding $1 more. That's what I'm doing.
Well, you can't see what people bid. That's the other thing. You just got to kind of guess what people are going to put on a person. But I'll send you some suggestions. Money to spend. You should be putting money on people now because you need it. You have a decent team. You just got to push them.
Well, now that I know Mark Ingram's not playing this week, I got to go back and look at shit. Fuck.
Yeah, because guess who you're playing?
You?
And guess who's a 23-point favorite?
23 points? Should we bet on that?
Yeah, we could.
I'm taking me and the points.
You're taking you?
Plus 23.
Okay, just so people know what our teams are, I'm going to pull this up real quick, and then, Lucas, you can decide. It's a 23-point spread in favor of me.
I haven't even set my lineup yet, 100%.
Well, you guess what? You don't really have much to put in to replace what you got.
Well, so that's the story of my fucking team.
He has Tom Brady going up against the Giants, which may be very good. But then you have Mark Ingram, who you're going to have to probably replace. You got
bad news there.
Harris for the Patriots. Who knows if it's going to be his week or if it's going to be someone else. You've got Allen Robinson, who's in concussion protocol.
Yep,
You've
done.
got A.J. Brown, who probably will have a good week against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry, who may be the guy now in Cleveland, but it could also be Hodge if he's healthy. It could also be Rashard Higgins, who I just picked up. You got Schultz for the Cowboys. You got Schultz for the Cowboys with a rookie quarterback probably starting to throw to him. You've got Slayton for the
reliable
Giants.
tight end. Good option. 10 yards down the field. I'll take that. Go ahead.
He hasn't had more than 6 points in a game. This is a standard league.
Great.
It's not PPR. You've got Dallas's defense. I have no idea why you have Dallas's defense.
Because they were on a bye. My team was on a bye. All right.
And then you got your 10th round pick, Harrison Butker, going up.
That's a good kicker. He's a good kicker.
And then
if you're going to take a kicker in the 10th.
So that's Steve's team. You can replace.
And I've got 2 kids, and I've got 2 mortgages, and I've got a wife, and I've got to dress up like Fat Elvis this weekend.
Well, don't make a bet in our names. You made a bet in our name in this league, and now you're not paying attention to it.
I will always bet.
I don't even know what the bet is.
You guys. I don't care
either. You haven't even told me what the bet is. I don't know what the stakes are.
They take over our podcast for a week, I think.
Oh, then that's fine. But I'm going to win anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Question about the Fat Elvis suit. How much weight are you going to – how big is the fat suit? Are you going to put one on?
Oh, it's got to last. I mean, I could be 500 pounds and wear this thing. So there's no limitations at all. I can go for the gold this weekend. I may try. Jackson's wearing a toilet seat on his butt, so he's Elvis who died on the toilet.
That's great.
We have a lot of different versions. Yeah.
But can I say my team real quick?
Yeah,
I'll go through it real quick.
Right now, I think Steve will cover unless your team blows me away.
Well, right now, I'm a 24-point favorite. I've got Josh Allen, James Conner, Mike Davis, Keenan Allen, Tyler Boyd, Rashard Higgins, Jonnu Smith, Alvin Kamara, the Chargers defense, and Justin Tucker.
Eat shit. Let's get back to this here. All right. I don't want to hear about it. I'm going to get slaughtered this week. I've on a lot of injuries, and Allen Robinson, my most reliable receivers in concussion protocol. Please.
I think you can do it, Steve. I think you can do it.
You're out of your mind.
I can.
If you want to make a bet,
up.
You're not covering that. I'm going off this week.
Squad. Let me see what I can pick up, and then when I finally, I'll text you before.
You're just like Steve because he has Tom Brady as his quarterback. That's the only reason. He has nothing else.
He could go off. He could be 50-point Tom Brady.
He could. And Josh Allen streaky.
Not going to happen.
Squirm.
Anyway, next up we have Steve, you're sweating through your shirt.
I know. You're getting
next
my blood
up,
pressure.
We have the Chargers visiting the Broncos. The Chargers are giving 3 points on the road.
Chargers. Money line to win. Ooh.
You think that's push written all over it?
No,
you said 3-point favorites, right?
They're 3-point favorites. I think Herbert's not going to have as great of a game, but they still win just because the Broncos can't do much. And the Chargers got Ingram back on defense. They're more well-rounded. So I think I think the Chargers still win this game.
Yeah, I think we're
Noah Fant is their second best offensive player, and he played every down last week, but he was like limping. He has an ankle sprain, so he might not be 100%. And then Phillip Lindsay probably won't play. He's in concussion protocol. And Melvin Gordon, who the fuck knows? He got sick. He should be suspended. The NFL could wake up tomorrow and go, yeah, he's not playing. So.
And when he does play, he turns it over. So
I like the Chargers, but you want to do the money line on the Chargers?
I mean, I like it does reek of a push.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Saints visiting the Bears. The Saints are giving 4.5.
I mean, do not believe in the Bears. I do not believe they're going to win the game.
Nor should you. Their offense is just dismal, and I think it's.
And now Allen Robinson being out, it's like I think New Orleans wins, but I don't know about 4.5. I say take New Orleans on the money line.
I'm going to agree with you. I think it'll be very similar to the Monday night game with the Rams and the Bears, but it won't be as close, or it will be much closer. It'll be low scoring.
Yeah.
Neither team's going to have to do much because you're not going to have Michael Thomas. You're not going to have Allen Robinson. The Saints will just win because the Bears are so awful on offense. And then we have room
Seattle,
for
San Francisco.
We have room for one more bet. So we could do Seattle, San Francisco, or we could do Tampa Bay, New York.
We're not fucking with New York. We're not dealing with the Giants. We're not dealing with the NFC East. It's a disaster show. We'll do San Francisco, Seattle. It's going to be – I don't see Seattle losing 2 weeks in a row, and I don't see them losing at home. I don't know if you want to get what you – as a face there, Brenton. What are you making that face for?
Because San Francisco is going to win this game.
Oh, God. All right. We're not doing this game. Leave it alone. What do you think, Lucas? What do you think?
No, I like this. I mean, we got to do some game because it's this or the NFC East. We can't do the East. God dang. I'm with you.
I can't see the
Seahawks losing again. I can't.
No.
Their defense is so bad, though, and Garoppolo has shown when he is healthy, he can play. And the way that offense is built, it doesn't matter who's in at running back. They're getting 100 yards rushing every week.
Is Richard Sherman playing?
No. I think he's out for the year, isn't he?
Is he? Okay. I know he hasn't played for a bit. How good is the Niners pass defense?
Their defense has gotten much better.
Can Dunlop play this week or no?
I don't know what the rules are.
No, I don't think he can't. They have to wait.
With COVID, yeah.
I can't see Seattle losing again.
No, I can't either. But that's why I take them with the money line. But
okay. It's 2/3 vote. I'll give you guys Seattle on the money line, but I'll tell you right now, we almost had it. We were so close. We were so close, you guys.
Idiot. Don't jinx us before we start this thing, all right?
Had it. And now I got to do another side bet where I take San Francisco with this exact lineup of picks. So we have Green Bay on the money line, the Bills with the spread -3.5, the Titans with the spread -5.5, the Vegas Raiders with the spread +2.5, the Chiefs -19.5, the Rams -3.5, the Steelers +4, the Chargers on the money line, the Saints on the money line, and the Seahawks on the money line. We are wagering $50 to win $11,947.36.
Come on! Come on!
And that is locked in.
I fucking love it. We're going to make some money this weekend. I like this, guys. I feel good about it. Rogue obviously doesn't, but you know what?
She likes San Francisco.
Everyone's got – fuck you. And the San Francisco 49ers. That's awesome. That's the podcast for this week, unless anyone has any plugs. Do you guys have any plugs?
I have one more thing to say. Yesterday was the 2-year anniversary of our first episode, and I took notes, and I have the notebook from that episode. And in my notes, I have that Steve made a long-term bet where he said Saquon Barkley will have a better career than any quarterback in his draft. How do you feel about that bet 2 years later? He is up against Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold. Do you still feel good?
And Mason Rudolph.
And Mason Rudolph.
Besides Lamar Jackson, I feel great about that still. I mean, you can't first of all, his rookie year was better than everyone's except for Baker Mayfield, who came in at the end.
But Lamar Jackson won MVP last year and had the craziest year of anybody in history.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. But Saquon got hurt, and I think that his best days are still ahead of him. And I think Lamar Jackson could easily be where Saquon Barkley is right now. So, yes, if we're ending the bet right now, definitively Lamar Jackson was a better player. But we're not done with careers yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just giving you a little. This is 2 years later. We'll open up the time capsule. We're going to bury it back again. We'll see in 3 years when Saquon's in a wheelchair and Josh Allen is a three-time Super Bowl champion.
Dude, how about a one-time Super Bowl champion, you fucking idiot, before you start going three times?
It's a dynasty. We're building a dynasty.
3 times. What a jerk off. All right, that's the podcast for this week. Happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you get spooked out. I hope you get scared, and I hope you shit your panties. I'll be down in Orange County. If you see Fat Elvis, come say hello. And that's it. We'll see you guys next week.